Welcome to our exploration of the historic culinary landscape of the Alamo. When we think of the Alamo, images of bravery and sacrifice often come to mind. But what about the food that fueled those courageous defenders? The food culture during the time of the Alamo in the early 19th century was a fascinating blend of indigenous, Spanish and Mexican influences. This melting pot of flavors and ingredients created a unique culinary experience that reflected the diverse communities living in Texas at the time. From hearty stews to corn-based dishes, the meals were not just about sustenance, they were a reflection of the rich cultural tapestry that defined the region. As we delve into this topic, we'll uncover the types of food that were common during the siege and how they played a role in the daily lives of those who fought for freedom. Join us on this engaging journey as we uncover the culinary history of the Alamo, revealing how the food of the past continues to influence Texas cuisine today. Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and expand your understanding of this iconic landmark. To truly appreciate the culinary history of the Alamo, we must first understand its historical background and significance. Originally a Spanish mission, the Alamo became a pivotal site during the Texas Revolution in the early 1830s. Tensions were rising between the Texian settlers, including American immigrants, Mexicans, and the Mexican government, which sought to maintain control over the territory. The siege of the Alamo began in February 1836, when a small group of Texian defenders, including famous figures like Juan Seguin, James Bowie and Davy Crockett, took a stand against the much larger Mexican army led by General Santa Anna. During this tumultuous time, Texas was a melting pot of cultures, with influences from Native American tribes, Spanish colonists and Mexican settlers. This diversity not only shaped the political landscape but also the culinary one. As we explore the events leading up to the siege, we'll see how the availability of ingredients and traditional cooking methods reflected the rich tapestry of cultures present in Texas. Understanding this historical context sets the stage for discovering the food choices available to those at the Alamo, revealing how their meals were intertwined with their fight for independence. The defenders of the Alamo and the residents of Texas in the 1830s relied heavily on a few key dietary staples that shaped their daily meals. Corn was a fundamental ingredient, often ground into masa to make tortillas or used in stews. Beans, particularly pinto and black beans, were another essential source of protein and nutrition, frequently served alongside corn dishes. Meat, primarily from cattle and game, provided the necessary sustenance for those engaged in the physically demanding life of a soldier or settler. Local agriculture played a crucial role in food availability during this period. The fertile soil of Texas allowed for the cultivation of various crops, including corn and beans, which thrived in the region's climate. Livestock farming was also prevalent, ensuring a steady supply of meat for the community. These staples not only filled bellies, but also shaped the daily meals of the defenders and residents. A typical meal might consist of a hearty bean stew accompanied by fresh tortillas and roasted meat, reflecting the blend of indigenous and Spanish culinary traditions. The impact of Native American food traditions on the diets of those at the Alamo is both significant and fascinating. Indigenous peoples of Texas had long relied on a variety of wild game and native plants, which became integral to the culinary practices of settlers and defenders alike. Game such as deer, rabbits and birds provided essential protein, while plants like prickly pear, mesquite beans and various wild greens offered vital nutrients and flavors. The exchange of culinary practices between Native Americans and European settlers created a rich tapestry of food traditions. As settlers adapted to their new environment, they learned to incorporate indigenous ingredients into their meals, blending them with European cooking techniques. This fusion not only enhanced the flavor profiles of their dishes, but also ensured that they could thrive in the local ecosystem. These influences significantly enriched the local food landscape, creating a diverse array of meals that reflected the cultural heritage of the region. The use of wild game and native plants in everyday cooking exemplifies how the defenders of the Alamo were not just fighting for independence, but also embracing a culinary identity shaped by the land and its original inhabitants. During the Alamo period, food preservation was crucial for survival, especially in the face of a prolonged siege. With limited access to fresh supplies, defenders relied on various techniques to extend the shelf life of their food. Drying was a common method where fruits, vegetables and meats were dehydrated to prevent spoilage. This technique allowed for easy storage and transport, making it a staple for those preparing for potential shortages. Smoking was another effective preservation method, particularly for meats. By exposing meat to smoke from burning wood, defenders could inhibit bacterial growth while imparting a rich flavor. Salting was also widely used, as the high sodium content drew moisture out of the food, creating an inhospitable environment for spoilage. Salted meats could last for months, making them a vital resource during the siege. In a siege situation, the importance of food preservation cannot be overstated. It ensured that the defenders had enough sustenance to withstand the hardships of battle. These preservation methods directly influenced the types of food consumed, leading to a reliance on dried fruits, smoked meats and salted provisions. Understanding these techniques provides insight into the resourcefulness of those at the Alamo. The defenders likely enjoyed a variety of hearty dishes that reflected the cultural melting pot of the time. One of the most iconic dishes is chili, which combines indigenous ingredients like chili peppers with meat, beans and spices. This dish not only provided warmth and sustenance, but also showcased the blending of Native American and Spanish culinary traditions. Stews were another staple, often made with whatever ingredients were available, including wild game, beans and seasonal vegetables. These one-pot meals were practical for feeding a group and allowed for the incorporation of diverse flavors and textures. Cornbread, made from ground corn, was a common accompaniment, serving as a versatile side that complemented many dishes. As different cultures interacted, unique recipes likely emerged, combining elements from various traditions. For instance, a Tex-Mex variation of a traditional Spanish stew might have included local spices and ingredients, creating a dish that was distinctly Texan. These notable dishes not only nourished the defenders, but also reflected the rich culinary heritage of the region, illustrating how food served as a unifying force amid the challenges of the Alamo. The cuisine of the Alamo era has left a lasting impact on Texan food culture, particularly in the evolution of modern Tex-Mex cuisine. Historical dishes such as chili, stews and cornbread have transformed over the years, incorporating new ingredients and techniques while still honoring their roots. Today, Tex-Mex is celebrated for its bold flavors and diverse offerings, showcasing how the culinary practices of the past have adapted to contemporary tastes. The significance of the Alamo in shaping regional food identity cannot be overstated. As a symbol of resilience and cultural fusion, the Alamo represents the blending of Native American, Spanish and Mexican influences that define Texas cuisine. This rich heritage is reflected in the vibrant food culture that thrives in the state today, where traditional recipes are cherished and celebrated. Preservation of these culinary traditions continues through local restaurants, food festivals and home cooking. Many chefs and home cooks strive to honor the flavors of the past while experimenting with new interpretations. By keeping these historical dishes alive, Texans not only pay homage to their ancestors, but also ensure that the culinary legacy of the Alamo remains a vital part of their cultural identity for generations to come. In summary, our exploration of what was eaten at the Alamo reveals a rich and diverse food culture that played a crucial role in the lives of its defenders. Key takeaways include the reliance on dietary staples such as corn, beans and meat, as well as the significant influence of Native American cuisine on the meals consumed. Preservation techniques like drying, smoking and salting ensured that food remained available during the challenging siege, while notable dishes like chili, stews and cornbread reflect the cultural melting pot of the time. As we reflect on the historical significance of these foods, it's clear that they not only nourished the bodies of those at the Alamo, but also contributed to the culinary identity of Texas that we celebrate today. The legacy of Alamo-era cuisine continues to thrive in modern Tex-Mex dishes, reminding us of the resilience and creativity of those who came before us. Gracias. And if you enjoyed this journey into the culinary history of the Alamo, we invite you to subscribe to our channel.